Hey everybody, welcome to Dad, Daughters, and Drinks, where you'll always get at least two of those three. Today, it's an exciting day. We've got a new Ren video. I think it actually dropped yesterday. He's performing Bittersweet Symphony live. This was actually one of the original Ren videos I ever heard. I'm well aware of the original song by the Verve. And then I later learned there had been some history with Ren, and I think the bass player, Psy, I think his name is, sent him a pretty cool custom bass for the version of Bittersweet Symphony that he did. It's a pretty cool video, almost like one of his one-take videos. There's a couple cuts in it. Still an awesome video. I've always liked it, and I'm excited that he's redone it. It says live. I think I've seen in one of the, kind of pictures that there's a string, quartet, I think, behind him. I don't remember if I saw all four or not in the picture. But I've seen all kinds of reactions coming up, and I've been dying to listen to it, but I haven't had a chance to get to do this until now, and I didn't want to miss it. So without further ado, let's get started.
I've got dirt on my Reeboks from staying up all night. I spent my last £10 on this pack of Marlboro Lights. I phoned up Stevie, I said, G, you alright? He said, it's 6 in the morning, brother, get some shut-eye. I feel a sense of well-being this time in the morning. Wear my heart out of my hoodie while the city is snoring. Drunks falling off the sidewalks get issued a warning. Distant sirens, they crescendo like a symphony calling. This is the Britain I know, this is the Britain I love. There's poetry inside this city if you listen enough. Working class casualties out on the street sleep rough, while a mother with her baby takes a pram to the pub. And while she's knocking them down, the cost of living goes up. I can't relate to politicians with their head in the mud. I resonate with messy Fridays with my boy smoking bud. We do.
So I got to go back for a second. All of a sudden, it got really loud in my headset. I was trying to subtly change it, but I think it was just a bit too loud for me. And I think I used to have a pretty good balance between my microphone and the music, and then I went through and did some other things in my setup unrelated to streaming. And now I think my mic might be a little quiet compared to the music as well. So it's probably good that I turned it down a little bit. I even turned it down a little bit more. Sorry about that.
Duties out on the street, poetry inside the city if you listen enough. Working class casualties out on the street sleep rough, while a mother with her baby takes a pram to the pub. And while she's knocking them down, the cost of living goes up.
Just as an aside, I've always said one of his superpowers was just his sound mixing skills. And I always, it's interesting that you can record something like this, standing next to a bunch of people hanging out and probably making noise. And obviously they're kicking the soccer ball around, football, I guess, if you're not in the States, although soccer's originally a British term, I did discover, which is where we got it from. So they can't really blame us too much. In any case, so I wonder if not hearing them in the background is a function of the mic itself being very directional and, just not picking up that background stuff, or if, he's having to go in and do a bunch of, sound editing afterwards and removing all of the ambient noises, because it sounds great.
I can't take a pram to the pub, and while she's knocking them down, the cost of living goes up. I can't relate to politicians with their head in the mud. I resonate with messy Fridays with my boy smoking bud. We do our bit to numb the struggle, as below so above, as above so below. Here in this city we glow. I blow a smoke ring up to heaven and it makes a halo. And then the clock strikes 7, guess it's time to head home. My companion is the city, so I'm never alone. Stepping in and out of gaps of the pavement cracks. If I go to sleep now, that's an anticlimax. People rise for work and the sun mirrors that. A perfect juxtaposition for those out on the lash. Bear with me, it's beautiful, I think it's irrefutable. There's beauty in the contradicting Britain, indisputable. Junkie in the cubicle, his old spoon is usable. His mother's in a black suit, crying at a funeral. 9 to 5 crucible, this route is not commutable. A kid falls off the tracks, then he serves a stretch at juvenile. Libby's at the dolies, but her disposition's humorful. While Davy's at the bookies and his mates call him delusional Britain.
I have to say, as much as I love this song and I've listened to it a million times and I've got it ripped onto, MP4 to listen to just, as part of my normal mix and everything, there are still certain words in the song I was never exactly sure what he was saying, and it's all very clear to me now what he's saying. So I'm very thankful for this, just because I guess I never looked at the lyrics, or at least I don't remember looking at them. But this is great.
Kid falls off the tracks, then he serves a stretch at juvenile. Libby's at the dolies, but her disposition's humorful. While Davy's at the bookies and his mates call him delusional Britain. Drink it down and moan about the weather when the sun starts shining. Feel the factor 10 tremor. Boys will be in it together till the fists start flying like the Conor McGregor, and then he's out. I think he took it too far. I think the boy saw red. I think he hit him too hard. Now he's face down on the pavement with a face full of tar. Mad how small altercations can define who we are. That's my cue. I guess
I like that string part right there. I wasn't going to talk any about the lyrics really because I'd heard the song before, but I do want to just, that line, it's mad how small altercations can define who we are, has always stuck out to me. I think every time I've heard it, especially when you watch what's happening in the song, and it just makes you think about, especially as you get older, you can still point back to incidents or things, events in your life when you were younger that, could have been very formative for you, or for whatever reason, it just sticks with you for a long time. And I think, it's funny how you think about somebody who might be, it's not funny in the haha way, but you think about somebody who's been, bullied or got beat up when they were little or something, and that can really have a long, lasting impact on them as a person, their confidence. Maybe they end up becoming, bodybuilders or whatever, to make sure that something like that never happened again. Or maybe they become, introverts and recluses. A lot of times, to see these people that do bad things in society. Everybody talks about how they were, introverts who were bullied at school and all these other things. But even if it only happens like once, it's something that you think about for the rest of your life generally. And so, yeah, I think that line, just for whatever reason, always stuck out to me as very, a great way to put that thought. Especially, like I said, with what's going on in the video where the guy gets beat up.
I think he hit him too hard. Now he's face down on the pavement with a face full of tar. Mad how small altercations can define who we are. That's my cue. I guess it's time to head home. Bittersweet how my high found its way to below. And I've said it once before, as above so below. Living on the streets of Britain, you just go with the flow. But I'm done, I'm out for the night. As the sun paints the pavements, I'll turn out the light. White noise on the radio to quiet my mind. I always was an overthinker, just the way I'm designed. Britain, drink it.
I think this is exactly the pose he was doing in the song at this point. This is where he's sitting on his front porch and he kicks back just like that. And he's wearing something pretty similar as well. I remember the stripes.
I always was an overthinker, just the way I'm designed. Britain, drink it down and moan about the weather. When it's all said and done, we'll be in it all together. Boys, we'll be like you forever. It's a bittersweet symphony.
Is there actually like one of those string players that's doing some kind of a I'm not sure what the term is for it, like this kind of just raking of the strings with the bow but not making any sound? It's almost like kind of a sound they use in horror movies and something, but it sounds really cool.
Boys will be boys, when it's all said and done, we'll be in it all together. Boys will be like you forever. It's a bittersweet symphony with birds of a feather. Cause it's a bittersweet symphony that's life. Trying to make ends meet. You're a slave to money, then you die.
I like this nod to the original. I think that was a great little addition to Run's original. Oh, you can hear those people in the background now. So I guess it wasn't a directional thing. He must have been removing them, you know, throughout the song and just left it in at the end. That was fantastic. I actually, if you've ever seen the Verve's vision or video of the original, you know, it's the singer, I'm not sure his name, walking down the street, and I think he's eventually joined up by the other band members. But the only thing I can remember, and it's been a while since I've seen it, is I remember thinking the guy was kind of being a jerk to like the other people walking down the street, like knocking into him and stuff. Maybe I'm misremembering that. If you're familiar with it, if I'm misremembering, let me know. But that's what's sticking in my memory from seeing that a long time ago. So I always like the Ren version because it's kind of similar where he's walking down the street, but he's not being jerks to people. He's just kind of, you know, talking about, you know, all of the good and bad of, you know, living in England. I don't know if he's in Brighton or London or wherever when he's filming the video, but I think it's just an ode to Britain, and there's good and bad and all taken together. It's an awesome place with a lot of character. And I don't think anybody can really deny that. So the original was great. I loved what he did with it here, having this kind of symphony, but this quartet behind him live really gave him the ability to like play with the dynamics of the song to go along with the feeling of the lyrics as he was saying them. And so I thought it worked a lot better that way. There were certain parts of, you know, the original Verve's backing track that when he did his thing over it, he kind of followed where there were some crescendos and things. But generally speaking, you know, he was just kind of going along with the music to the song. Whereas here he could really, you know, play with the dynamics. There were some parts that were being bowed, some that were being plucked. All right. There was that guy doing that little thing at the end. I don't know what that's called. If you know what it is, let me know. So anyway, this was great. I really enjoyed this. And I saw when I opened this up, that he had the first comment and he said, "It feels good to be home." I didn't read anything past that, but I'm assuming that was filmed then at least in the UK, if not Brighton specifically. But I don't know anything else. I didn't read any of the description or anything. So I don't know who filmed it. I don't know any of that good stuff. Another great one take. I really enjoyed this. It's going to be another one I'm going to have to grab and put on my playlist. I use some tool to convert the videos to audio, and then I go through iTunes to upload it. It's kind of a big pain, but sometimes it's worth it. And in fact, now I think like today they finally pulled Sick Boy off of like Spotify and iTunes and these other things. Well, I think they're still working out the copyrights. If I had a computer with a CD player, I could throw in the CD and rip it to an MP3 and put it on my playlist through iTunes, like I was just saying. But I don't. It's weird thinking that I have, you know, multiple computers and none of them have anything I can play a disc on. So I guess like hashtag free Sick Boy or something. I don't know if there's any kind of a movement for that, but there should be. So if not, start one. Hashtag free Sick Boy. In any case, hope everybody's doing well. I'll have a link to the original in the description, and I'll see you guys all again on the next one. Bye.